Good morning, ladies and gentlemen and Scouts. On behalf of the Spirit of Adventure Council, Boy Scouts of America, welcome to the 26th Annual Quincy Mayor's Good Scout Breakfast. My name is John Cohane, and I am delighted to MC this morning. Thank you for your attendance this morning in honor of two distinguished honorees, Anthony Agniti, founder and CEO of Agniti Insurance Agency, and Jimmy Liang, founder and CEO of JP Fuji Group. I would like to introduce some Quincy Scouts from Pack Troop and Crew 42 who will conduct the opening ceremony. Following the pledge, Scout Oath, and Law, we have a special guest joining us this morning to sing the national anthem, Chelsea Baszler. Chelsea is a Grammy Award nominated soprano and member of the Boston Lyric Opera. We are delighted to have her joining us this morning. If you would please rise for the presentation of the flag.
Color Guard, attention. Color Guard, present the colors. Color Guard, post. Now we'll have Luke and Nims to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you for attending, and would we all start the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Now we will have Matt Muldowney to lead us in the Scout Oath and Law.
Good morning. Scout time. If you all please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. If you will now please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Chelsea and Scouts. You may all be seated. Great job, everyone. Let's have another round of applause for Chelsea and all of our Scouts. Next, I would like to introduce Reverend Matthew Williams to begin with our invocation.
Thank you, John. And Chelsea, we're always looking to recruit new members for our choir at St. John the Baptist, St. Joseph. You are most welcome. Good morning, everyone. Let us pray. Almighty and eternal God, we bow our heads and our hearts before your awesome majesty. We are your creatures, indeed your children, created in your image. You are the potter and we are the clay, the sacred work of your hands. We take this moment to thank you for this day, for the gift of our great nation, and the ways you continue to bless us this hour. We thank you for the freedom and liberty we share that allows us to worship you and invoke your holy name today. We know that our freedom is not free, and so we thank you for our veterans, our current military personnel, and all those who have made the supreme sacrifice of their lives for our country. We thank you, Lord, for our scouts. Their commitment to God and country inspires all of us to become the best version of ourselves, placing the gifts you have given us at the service of one another. Our scouts remind us that we are called to be one human family. In a special way, we ask your blessing upon all gathered here who love and honor and support our scouts. Particularly, we ask your blessing upon our honorees, Tony and Jimmy. And finally, dear Lord, renew us with the strength to work tirelessly for the peace of your kingdom, that we seek to grow in your wisdom and grace. And may your love be the bond that unites us, our city, and all peoples as one human family. We ask this as your sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Scouting has been making a difference in the lives of men and women for more than a century. In fact, today there are more than 50 million living Scout alumni. Altogether, that number would be the 25th largest nation on earth. Those alumni have taken an oath to do their best and to be trustworthy, helpful, and brave. Many of those individuals have taken that oath to heart. They have enhanced our communities and the quality of life in America. Each year, the Boy Scouts of America recognize an elite group of business and community leaders who represent the ideals of the Scout Law in their everyday lives. The goal of this event is to raise awareness and support for the Scouting programs and provide enhancements needed to remain relevant in America's changing landscape. The Quincy Breakfast Committee, along with Mayor Koch, chooses distinguished individuals to honor in recognition of their leadership and philanthropic support of the city of Quincy. Their charitable work and business leadership exemplifies the ideals and success of Boy Scouts of America. The Spirit of Adventure Council's mission is to serve others by helping to instill values in young people and in other ways prepare them to make ethical choices over their lifetime. The values they strive to instill are based upon those found in the Scout Oath and Law. It is very exciting to see over 160 guests gathered this morning to celebrate. Now I would like to invite Mayor Thomas Koch to say a few words.
Thank you, John, and good morning, everybody. Beautiful sunny morning here up at Quarry Hills, and thank you to the staff up here for doing a great job. This society's had a rough stretch over the last few years, and we're not immune from that in the whole area of addiction. And we've spent a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of resources combating that, and programming, and education, and treatment, and enforcement. But the last year, we have been pouring more resources into what we call prevention. More enrichment programs in the schools, more recreational programs in our recreation department. Actually, things that Scouting's been doing for decades. The Scouting has been a true example of how to build character in our young people. So certainly as the mayor of the city, I'm grateful for what Scouting does for our young people. I'm grateful to all the Scout leaders who are here, who continually, volunteer hours and hours and hours with great leadership. I also want to congratulate the two honorees this morning, Tony and Jimmy, both amazing individuals, incredible business leaders, but more than that, part of the community. I often thank the business community because they constantly ask for help, whether it's a charity, a nonprofit, a foundation, whatever the case may be. And I know these two guys never say no. You're a major part of our community. We're grateful for all you do. Congratulations this morning. God bless everybody.
Thank you, Mayor Koch. At this time, I would like to introduce the CEO and Scout Executive of the Spirit Adventure Council, Chuck Eaton. Chuck has been a professional scouter for 26 years. He's an Eagle Scout from the class of 1986 from Troop 32, Quincy. Please help me welcome Chuck Eaton.
Thanks very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's always great to come home to Quincy and see Scouting thriving in this community. I want to thank our honorees, Tony and Jimmy, and really appreciate all that you folks do for us, our committee, Tom O'Connell, all the folks at Granite Links. We really appreciate what this represents, not only in all the committees and all the work that people do to help Scouting thrive in Quincy, but really what that represents for the town itself, for the city itself. Scouting is truly a community organization first and foremost, and sometimes in the statistics of being if we put everybody together in the alumni, it would be a 25th largest country on earth and things like that, and it feels like this massive thing. And it really is. I mean, there's Scouting in every single community all across the country and 68 countries across the globe. It's an amazing movement for children. But ultimately, it is all about community. It's all about individual children, their parents, all working together for a common goal to help their kids be the best that they can be. I find that no more resonant anywhere than I do in Quincy. And I find that because as I come to this event every year and I get a chance to shake hands and reacquaint myself with folks, it's so clear that for decades and decades, the cornerstones of Scouting are in the cornerstones of Quincy as to who we are as a people. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent could just as easily be the motto, the law of Quincy, as much as it is the Scout law. And you can feel that in the way that people contribute, in the way that people give, in the way that people stand together. I think about our Eagle Scout projects as sort of the cornerstone of how that manifests. When a young adult is working towards their Eagle Scout, and we'll have soon, next year, we'll have our first female Eagle Scouts, which will be a very exciting thing. But as a young adult goes to earn their Eagle Scout, the first thing that they have to do is assess their town and assess their city and assess a need. So as a citizen, they are asked to understand what's going on in their own town and assess a need, and then, as a leader, start to figure out how to address that need. And then, as a leader, they map out a plan, and then they secure those resources to go and pull that plan together. And in a town like Quincy, in a city like Quincy, when they do that, whether they're going to Curry Hardware or whether they're going down the street to all the different resources that they're going to pull together, or they're going to go talk to the mayor, and they're going to go talk to what are we going to do to fix this particular thing, everybody immediately pulls together around this young adult's vision for a better Quincy, and they pull together their resources to go and help that young adult. And you see 85-year-old citizens and 12-year-old citizens all following this young 16-year-old adult as they go to literally make their town a better place. And then that young adult has their court of honor, very similar to this. And so often these exact same people come out to that exact same thing, and they congratulate that young adult and ultimately the city, and our bond gets stronger and stronger because of it. I am so grateful to be from this city and to be here today and to be able to watch how that grows decade after decade. So thanks so much to everybody for your commitment to Scouting, for your commitment to community, and for your commitment to each other. Thanks.
Thank you, Chuck. We salute you for your service to Scouting. Next, I have the privilege of introducing our outstanding youth representative of the program. Our Scout speaker is Gwen Leilashur. Gwen is a Scout from Troop 42 Quincy. She is 16 years old and a junior at Milton High School. She is currently working on her first class rank in Scouting and is on track to reach it before the end of this month. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gwen.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you all for coming today. My name is Gwen Leilashur, and I'm here to talk about my experience with Scouting. When I was around 7 years old, my brother was part of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts. I was able to tag along to most of the events, and everything that happened just seemed like the coolest thing. They got to learn survival skills, go fishing and camping, and race these cool little painted cars. I begged my parents to join. However, I couldn't, as Boy Scouts was not open to girls yet. My parents looked into it, however, and they discovered a program called Venturing that was co-ed. Unfortunately, it didn't open until you turned 14. In other words, double my lifespan. I decided the information was useless and continued coming to events with my brother. 7 years later, I turned 14 and I remembered the co-ed program. I immediately signed up. I love it. I've been involved in my crew for over 2 years. I've been part of Troop 42 since this April, and I can say without hesitation that Scouting has changed my life for the better and helped me do and achieve things that I never thought were possible. Many of my fondest experiences with Scouting have happened at summer camp, at Camp Winoxet. Summer camp is a place that really helped me and some of my friends to push ourselves to do more than we thought we were capable of. In my first year, I overcame a fear of heights to be able to go on a high ropes course. I also climbed up Mount Monadnock on a sunset hike, a hike that, if you told me beforehand I was going to make, I never would have believed you. This past year, I took several merit badge courses, learning how to do things such as splint an arm and swim the breaststroke, a stroke that has eluded me for years. On the last day of camp, we went on the muck walk, a hike through the swamp near the entrance of camp. An hour later, we emerged from the swamp covered head to toe in mud and chanting, "Who wants a hug?" Through all these experiences, I learned how to exceed my limits and never give up. In my second year of Scouting, I went to National Youth Leadership Training, a leadership training course through BSA. For me, leadership had always been some kind of vague concept. It was the thing main characters did in books, not something I could actually achieve. Going to this course showed me that leadership is really the choices we make in our daily lives. In a more concrete sense, we learned all about how teams grow and develop and the different stages of learning. We also learned about event planning and organizing, and we planned an outing for our group as part of the course. The following year, I was on staff at the course, and I experienced the flip side. Teaching others about leadership turned out to be just as transformative as learning about it. This taught me that leadership is really about helping other people. Another important skill I've learned through Scouting is how to work as part of a team. By being part of a team, you can accomplish much more than you can on your own. For example, my crew applied to go to Sea Base, a sailing adventure camp in the Virgin Islands. We immediately started planning for it, much to my surprise, as the trip was over a year and a half away. As it turned out, all that planning was much needed and well worth it. Together, we learned how to sail the boat, train up for a swim test, tie knots, and navigate using nautical maps. This taught us how important planning is to any ambitious goal. During our time there, we snorkeled over coral reefs, we had to bushwhack around wild donkeys, we even found a barracuda and named it Tarry the Tarrycuda. On the fourth night, we watched the sunset over the ocean from the top of a rocky hill. Through this, we saw what a group of dedicated people can accomplish together. As a 14-year-old joining Scouting for the first time, I had some doubts about whether or not Scouting would live up to the expectations I'd had as a 7-year-old. Today, I can say confidently that it has. Scouting has given me so much. How to push myself, what leadership really is, and what it takes to accomplish anything worth the effort. Scouting has helped me learn the importance of all these and prepared me to take responsibility in my life. Thank you all for your support. Have a great day.
Gwen, thank you for giving us a window into your life and your scouting experience. You are an inspiration for Scouts and for adults who continue to provide volunteer and financial support. Let's give this future leader another round of applause. Before we get into presenting the awards, I would like to take a moment to touch on the program that Chuck spoke about, Scout Reach. As Scout started, the goal of the program is to make scouting available to every child in the council territory. I would like to draw your attention to the pledge cards on the table, and I'd like to ask that you make a pledge to this program this morning. If you kindly would take a look at the table, and if you are able to fill out a card or make a pledge this morning, would be greatly appreciated. Scouting provides once-in-a-lifetime opportunities and the life lessons needed for today's youth to reach their full potential. Your financial investment, plus that of time and talents, are among the greatest gifts you can make. The Scouts will come around in a few moments to collect your pledge cards. Thank you very much. Now it's time for our award presentation. The Good Scout Award is presented each year to a distinguished citizen who has had a significant impact on area youth through service to others, community leadership, and personal example. Through their dedication and commitment, they enrich the lives of our young people and strengthen our community. A Good Scout is always interested in helping others. The Good Scout certainly is not self-centered, but feels privileged to bring the spirit of friendliness and helpfulness. May I please ask Chuck Eaton to rejoin me at the podium to assist with the presentation. I have the pleasure of presenting the 2019 Good Scout Award to Jimmy Liang, founder, CEO of JP Fuji Group. Scouts, please escort our honoree to the podium.
Stand off to the side. Photo one thing. Get the Scouts in here. Are you ready? Of course, Scouts. Come on in. Great.
Thank you.
Jimmy Liang is the founder, CEO, and chef of GP Fuji Group. As a graduate of North Quincy High School and an English major in college, Jimmy discovered his passion for the culinary arts at a young age. After becoming head sushi chef at a local Chinatown restaurant, Jimmy, along with his best friend and partner, Peter C., opened Fuji Restaurant. Although only 19 at the time, Jimmy's enthusiasm and love of the business helped quickly lead his business restaurant to success. Only a short time later, in 2004, Jimmy and Peter more than quadrupled the size of their restaurant and relocated to Fuji 1546. Amidst opening 5 restaurants between 2007 and 2011, and 3 in the span of 8 months this past year, Jimmy also started and continues to run the Fuji Design and Construction Company. In 2001 and 2003, Jimmy entered into politics when running for city councilor at large. The only 2 out of 3 times an Asian name had appeared on the ballot, and for Ward 6 City Council in 2007. During his first campaign at only age 23, Jimmy raised Asian voter turnout by 223%. Jimmy believes that giving back to one's community has brought him where he is today. Jimmy, we thank you for the role you have played in bettering our community. You are a role model and a distinguished citizen of our community. You embody the ideal of the Scout Oath. Honor us with your commitment to Quincy, and we wish to honor you with this award. On behalf of the Spirit of Adventure Council, Boy Scouts of America, I'm proud to present you the 2019 Good Scout Award.
Well, I'm extremely grateful and humbled, and it's amazing. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you all. My name is Jimmy Liang, and I'm the president and CEO of JP Fuji Group. We are the largest Asian restaurant group in the state. But more importantly, I'm a lifelong resident of Quincy. I'm humbled and honored by this award, the Good Scout Award. Quincy was in the spirit of the holidays and this time of year. I've been reflecting. I was born in China, immigrated here at the age of 4, and grew up in Quincy. Quincy was not always my home, but my mother and father made it ours. I started in 3rd grade here. I delivered the Patriot Ledger. I biked with my friends all over the city like Montclair, Norfolk Downs, the Neck. Played basketball at Parker, Kavanaugh, Welcome Young. Went to the movies at Wally Theater, Quincy Center. Although my family are immigrants, we do have early roots dating back to my great-great-grandfather who built railroads here. My grandparents and parents used to instill in myself and my siblings if we left a place just a little better than when we first found it, we would do all right in life. JP Fuji Group was founded in 1998. Together with my team, we have worked tirelessly to build our business together. We started out with wanting to serve good food and build a better life for our families. This included the city of Quincy, our family, our home. I ran for city council numerous times and lost every time. Clearly, it was not my time. I then asked myself why I ran. I thought about it long and hard. All I ever wanted to do was help people. I just wanted to do right by my family, my Fuji family, my Quincy family. I made it our mission to leave a place just a little better than we first found it. Today, JP Fuji Group employs about 400 people. Many of them are locals. We support over 80 different charitable organizations annually, with the focus in Quincy and others in the state, and one in Thailand, Dolly. Where's Dolly? I never thought I'd be recognized for... It's always been important to the JP Fuji Group to leave a positive footprint in our endeavors. I never thought I would be recognized for trying to do the right thing, so thank you. I believe there are many, many good people that does the right thing every day. I'm still learning and growing. It is my hope that JP Fuji Group will be able to do more as our business grows. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, the Spirit Adventure Council, Boy Scouts of America, the Selection Committee. But this award really belongs to my grandparents, my parents, my team, my customers, anyone that has ever helped me, and my very understanding wife, Jennifer. It is because of all the people that are in my life that I can do what I do. Thank you. Happy holidays. God bless the Boy Scouts. God bless Quincy. God bless America.
The Quincy Mayor's Breakfast Committee will be awarding a Lifetime Achievement Award to its very own Tony Agniti. This award is presented to a distinguished individual who over the course of their adult life has played a crucial role in helping Scouting thrive. To present our next award, may I ask Armando to please come to the podium.
Congratulations, Jimmy. I really appreciate everything you've done to our community. You are a pillar of our community. And with that, Mr. Eaton, he was talking about Quincy as a town and as a city. And I think that is actually quite accurate. I grew up professionally. I went over to Lawrence Superior Court, Lawrence District Court. I came back to Quincy specifically because of the feeling that I've gotten. The community that Quincy has here, it has that town feeling. You can go to the planning board, you can go to the mayor's office, you can go anywhere in the city, you will have someone's ear. And when you have a city that has that small town vibe, you need pillars of the community. Jimmy being one of them, and my father being one of them. Growing up, I've seen my father help so many people, from children who are straying from the path, trying to go back, to larger business people asking for advice, giving his time and not asking for anything in return. And when I look at what I want to achieve in my life and what I want to do as I grow older and as I mature, both professionally and personally, I try my best to emulate what my father has done, and I hope that as I mature and as I grow in this community, I can do half of what he has done. When I look at my father, and now I look with him every day because we work together. I just recently got my own office. We were literally neck and neck with each other. I appreciate just his demeanor, his personality, and everything that he does, his attraction. It's almost like a law of attraction. It's everything that he does creates positivity, and he emanates growth and strength just simply for his actions, not his words, just his actions. And when I was asked to present this, I was honored because not only does he embody the Good Scout oath and law, he embodies everything that I want to be. So I'm proud to present my father with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Still don't get Friday off. My niece right there, by the way, as well. Mondo, that was amazing. Thank you. I'm honored to have a son like you. And he's like my father, which is the main reason. I want to thank you all for coming today. I'm honored to be recognized. Brief history of me and the Scouts. St. John's Rectory. Father, you're going to have to give me penance afterwards. Bob Graham and I were one too many judo flips in the rectory, and each of us were cordially asked to leave the Cub Scouts. So, at an early age, I was kicked off the Cub Scouts. In the 90s, Chuck Phelan, Mayor Sheets, Senator Harold revived the Good Scouting Award to do exactly what we're doing here today. They breakfast to support the scouting events. When I received the Good Scout Award back then, Mayor Sheets introduced me by saying, "People called Tony many things, but a good scout was not one of them." And Bob Curry's over there saying, "Yeah, you're right." But at that breakfast, I really saw the Scouts. God, country, family, friends. Scouting develops young men and women that set goals and achieve them through cooperation with each other, with their scout masters, with their community. Tremendous people. We're here to celebrate and support that cause. You have been introduced to many Scouts today, and it gives us pride to know we're developing leaders for the future. It's absolutely amazing. I always had a soft spot for the top Scout, Luke T-Bird. Pop's right there. It's good. That young man could come into my office, and I don't know how he did it, but he got more money out of me for projects. I usually throw nickels around like sewer covers, but Luke had a way about him. He was fantastic. Articulate from a young age, respectful, always tough and determined. When his mother died of cancer, the Scouts embraced and supported him. When he passed in a tragic car accident, the Scouts embraced the family and our community. Tremendous example of community. An example that life is not easy, but by being prepared, surrounding yourself with good people, trusting in God, and working for the common good, we can make a difference and be a positive catalyst in our community. And I see, Mr. Cohen and Carrie are shaking their heads. Yeah, yes, I have an aggressive personality, but at least I'm trying to. I want to thank the mayor, Mayor Koch, and Scout Fatzius, where is he? Is he over here? For their vision, their brave vision of the city, and for their fortitude to see it through. A lot of changes in the city, a lot of flack that they receive. They keep their vision, they move on, they embody the Scouts' ideal. Tremendous strength, tremendous ability. And I hate complimenting politicians. So, Mayor Koch, you did a fantastic job. I would like to thank and recognize my lovely wife, Marietta, my great mother, Gina, my brother, partner, best friend, Larry, our sons, Anthony and Armando, who's doing a fantastic job, an animal in the office. Great job, Armando. His fantastic fiancée, Daniela Rufa, who's here today. The A-team that we have from our office, Ellen, Carly, Lorraine, Lisa, Brian, And I also want to recognize Marilyn Manning, Mr. Cohane, Tommy O'Connell for the 2 decades of work. Marilyn Manning. Marilyn Manning should have gotten this award, but I am keeping it. So, tough luck, Marilyn. Most of all, I want to thank you, the Scouts and their parents, just for being you. With that, I would like to say thank you and have a good day.
Well, this has certainly been a morning of recognition and celebration, and a pleasure for me to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. Congratulations again to this morning's honorees, Tony Agniti and Jimmy Liang. Thank you to the generous sponsors for your dedication to Scouting. As our final treat for you this morning, I would like to ask Chelsea Basler to please join me at the podium to sing our closing song. On behalf of the Spirit of Adventure Council, Boy Scouts of America, thank you for attending and have a wonderful day and a safe trip back to the office.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet